These are the 11 Mac apps that I can't live without. So let's go over them. So the first app is Clop. This app will save you tons of space without even realizing it. Every time you copy an image to your clipboard, Clop will automatically optimize it to the smallest size possible. Then the optimized image will have minimal to zero loss in quality, and it will be ready to be pasted in any app. This app runs in the background and automatically optimizes and reduces the file size of not just images, but actually videos and PDFs on any given folder. So by default, it only monitors for files on the desktop, but you can add more folders to monitor. So in my case, I added the documents folder and the movies folder just in case. So if you take a screen recording, the moment you press save, it starts optimizing that file and shows you the file savings. And if you right click it, you have more options to downscale or remove the audio, which is pretty cool. And you can even compare the optimized version over the original one, and you can't even notice the difference. And the savings are huge. Sometimes it's only 10% of the original size. And to top of all this, it also automatically converts different file types if you want, such as MP4 for videos and JPEG for images. It even integrates to shortcuts, but the only thing I actually changed was adding the documents and movies folder so they get optimized as well. So the next app is going to make your life a lot easier from dragging and dropping files from different locations. And this app is called Dropover. So every time you drag a file and shake it a bit, a pop-up window appears that lets you drop it in there. You can then grab a bunch of files from different folders and drop them all to that window. Then you can easily drop them to where you want. And the best part are the instant actions. When you hover the file on the lightning icon, you get a bunch of actions like sharing via email, messages, or AirDrop. And you can even create links to your files using the Dropover Cloud or iCloud. Now, Dropover Cloud lets you share files of up to 8 gigabytes, but you can also use your own iCloud storage or Google Drive or Dropbox. And this app is free to use with the catch that you have a 3-second wait before being able to drop your files. Otherwise, it's a one-time payment of $6, which I think it's a no-brainer. So this next app is basically macOS's version of window snapping feature, but with so much more options. And it's called Rectangle. Since macOS app didn't have window snapping feature for the longest time, up until maybe 2 to 3 years ago, but it is still straight up garbage, let's be honest about that. You have to hover on the green button for a second, then choose the windows, or try to drag it to the edge like Windows, but still have to wait for a second. And it doesn't even snap to the border, it leaves some space. But with Rectangle, you get loads of options like left half, right half, top left, top right, and my personal favorite is the first 3/4, then center it. It also has the Pro version, which even adds more options to play around, like window throw, creating snap targets. You can even make your own size and position and specify what happens. And you can create a hotkey and snap target. It also syncs your config over iCloud for other devices. And that's a one-time payment of $9.99, which I think is worth it. This next app is essentially a supercharged spotlight search, but on steroids. And this is called Raycast. This allows you to search an application, empty the trash, convert currencies like from USD to pesos or whichever currency. One of the best feature I use the most in this is the clipboard history. Basically, I can just copy a bunch of texts, images, videos, or files, whichever, and it keeps a list of history, and I can press the hotkey I set for clipboard history, and it shows you the list starting from the most recent all the way down. I'm not sure what the maximum is, but it's there. And if you hold down the command button, you will see the numbers to the right of the list, which you can press as a hotkey to paste it. Or you can use the arrow keys and press enter or return to paste them. Another feature is you can set a hotkey to search for files quickly, and in my case I set the spacebar, then I search for files. You can also go to Raycast store to search for extensions that you need. It even has a speed test extension so you can directly test your internet speed in Raycast instead of going to your browser. And there are loads of features that I'm not even close to half of it, like checking your calendar, calculator, translator, snippets, and a bunch more. And I'm only talking about the free version here, and they have a pro version which has more features. But I think most people will go by with the free version. I think 80% of what you need is on the free version. The next app is called App Cleaner. This next app is a small application which lets you thoroughly uninstall unwanted apps. Because when you delete an app or move it to the trash can, there is a big chance that it won't get rid fully of everything related to the app. It also has a smart delete toggle which makes everything simpler. Now you can drag an app to the trash can and App Cleaner auto detects it and asks you if you want to delete all the files related to it, which is pretty handy. So the next app is a free and open source video player called IINA. It has the same UI look as QuickTime, but with a fully customizable UI. It has way more features like thumbnail preview while skimming. You can take a screenshot of the video using a hotkey. You can skip 5 seconds by pressing the arrow keys, which QuickTime doesn't do, which is annoying. It has a built-in subtitles downloader, playback history, and much more. In the settings, you can customize the on-screen toolbar, initial window size, gesture controls, and anything you can think of actually. I pretty much use this app daily and then QuickTime now. So every Mac user knows that macOS Screenshot is better than Windows. It does a pretty good job for the most part. But it is still pretty basic, and that's where Shottr app comes in. This app is a tiny and fast screenshot tool that does all the macOS Screenshot do, and a whole lot more. It also uses AI to do powerful things like if you want to grab something out of a screenshot, and it will automatically decide what to select. You can also blur and or delete something, or you can just blur the text and leave the image, or delete the text only, which is pretty cool. Another thing that I use the most is quickly copying the hex code of a color by hovering to the color you want and pressing tab. And another of my favorite feature is the scrolling screenshot, where you select the area of the browser and it will scroll all the way down and it takes a screenshot, which is very useful for websites. Next app is an application that automatically organizes your desktop, documents, and downloads folder using AI. It lives on your menu bar, and once you grant access, it sorts all the files on the right folders and even assigns images. So once it does its organization, you will have 3 main folders. First one is the AI library. This is where Sparkle creates folders based on the file names and the context of the files to categorize them. Second is the manual library. This is where your existing folders that will not be moved to the AI created folders. And third is the recent folders. This is where the files less than 3 days old for easier access. The best part about this is it runs in the background, so it doesn't need any refreshing and will just auto-categorize your files once they land on your desktop, documents, or downloads folder. It has a 7-day trial, and after that, it doesn't organize your files anymore. They just stay in the recents folder, but all existing folders remain. So pretty much every app I've talked about lives in the menu bar. And when you have a lot of apps running in the background, it can make the menu bar pretty messy. So this app comes in pretty handy. It is a free app, which is pretty cool. It's called Ice. So you have this little black dot right there, which hides all your apps to the left of it. And when you click on it, it expands and shows all your apps. Click on it again, it hides them back. If you want a specific app to be showing all the time, you just drag that app or that icon to the right of the black dot and it will stay there. So when you have a bunch of apps that are not in the App Store, there is really no easy way of updating them. So this app called Latest centralizes all the apps in your Mac, whether you got them in the App Store or not. And then you can just update them in one place. Pretty handy. The last app I'm going to be talking about is a utility app that you can use to verify the structure of your system files. And you know that this actually works because you can't open the app without using your admin password, because it actually goes deep to the system functions. So the homepage is kind of ugly. It's not a bug. You don't see anything there, but it actually works. I use it mostly for maintenance tasks, like verifying the structure of the file system, delete and APFS snapshots. You can also rebuild services databases of Spotlight, Index, and Mail. You can also clean your system, applications, internet, caches, and other junk items. But it's a lot more than that. You can go to the utilities section, check your file system, APS snapshot, processes, scheduling, and other applications. It also has all the security controls in one place and a whole lot more. And the best thing about this, it's open source, which means it's free and it's been trusted for 20 years. And there you have it, guys, 11 Mac apps that I can't live without. I always install them to all my Apple devices, well, except for iPhone. Can't really install it there. But I digress. Alright, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.